Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. What a day, just sideways movement. It was pretty boring today. Now around the daily candle close, we've seen a little bit of a small sell-off, but Bitcoin has not broken support. It has not broken support, but it's basically created here something that you could call a double bottom, which doesn't mean it has to go up suddenly. In fact, we are still heading further down as it seems, and we haven't really made any higher low or higher high yet. So the blue count is getting more and more realistic here, which is the move to the downside. I've sketched it out already in the last video, this ABC structure here, and explained it throughout the weekend and the last few days of the last week, that we are getting into a range where there will be a lot of downside pressure, and upside, or let's call it downside risk, will grow, and that a lot of altcoins are heading towards the end of their rallies. That a lot of them could still push up one wave, but they are getting towards the end of their rallies. And maybe we've seen the start here over the last few days of the downturn, which could send us into this wave 4 support area all the way down to around 20k. This would then be, ideally a fourth wave. At least this is the first support area. So if we get into this region, hold 20k, the region is between 20k and 21,240. If we hold this area, we have a good chance to put one more high in a fifth wave, maybe into the 27, 28k region. If we drop below 20k, it increases the likelihood that it's not a wave 4, but actually a wave 2. And in a wave 2, we can come down lower. And if we hold a wave 2 low, then it will give us a chance, or it will give us a good view of the bear market has already ended. Yeah, but we need to hold wave 2 low. Just to give you a perspective of where that would be. Just look at this. It's starting to look a bit as if Bitcoin was screaming, I want to go down, but again, it hasn't broken support yet, so it could still, you know what Bitcoin likes to do, sometimes it just likes to turn around just before breaking support, so just be ready for that as well. But yeah, let's say we have already done the 5 waves up, because that's also possible. Don't find it very likely, but it's possible. Then it could come down all the way into the region between 19,850 to 20,350, 17,350. If it drops below 17,350, the wave 2 isn't going to hold most likely, and we are most likely going to come down to 14k and continue with the bear market. So you can see we can have quite a large drawdown in a quite a large correction, and it can take quite a while until we actually can say that, okay, it's a wave 4 or it's a wave 2. It's quite a substantial drop that actually needs to happen for us to distinguish between these two scenarios, which is, again, mentioned it, I think, in nearly every video over the last few days, why I started to take some profits in that range up here of orders that I placed, or of positions that I bought in the last 3 months. Made channel members aware of what I bought, and always make you aware when I sell. And started to take out 25%. And for me, it's like, you know, I don't want to lose all of it if it comes down again. So we had some nice runs, so I'm going to take profits. Also of some coins like Optimism, Gala, I took profits. And some AI coins, I took profits, yeah. But I'm keeping a core position, because I'm not convinced that we're getting into a bull run yet. We could be, but even if we're getting into a bull run, we should see that structure of either a wave 4 or a wave 2. Now, very careful. I'm not telling you we definitely come down yet. What I'm telling you is that likelihood that we are coming down now has increased, but it's still possible to put in this extension to the upside. Now, that's getting increasingly unlikely, but we haven't taken out this wave 4 low of 22,500 yet. I mean, if we take that out, then the pattern is invalidated, and we should, with an increased likelihood, come down. We already broke below key support. This is a support area where we ideally shouldn't drop below. If we do it, then this 1-2 setup gets unlikely. Obviously, it did get already less likely, and we see the resulting negative and downside pressure from it. I mean, 4-hour bearish engulfing candles all over the place here, but we're still holding support. Yeah, we're still holding the trend line, but the thing is, the reaction to the trend line at the moment is not very impulsive. It's not very bullish. So maybe overnight we're going to break below it. We'll see. Yeah, at the moment we still hold support. So it's not invalidated. Yeah. It's always like we break below support. This setup gets much less likely, but not invalidated yet. It will only be invalidated if this wave 2 retraces more than 100% of the wave 1. Yeah? And if we break below 22,500, I will have to place this wave 5 here and the third wave as well. But we talked about that before, because minimum expectations of this fifth wave have been completed, but it would have been ideal to push a little bit higher. But just because something is ideal, it doesn't mean we have to do it, right? That's why the wider strategic approach is important to understand, and that's why we talked about that a lot of coins are getting towards the end of this rally, or at least we can expect before we continue a bit of a setback. So I'm waiting for that, I'm watching that. My strategy is quite clear. If we push higher, then I will probably take a bit more profit. If we come down into this wave 4 area or the wave 2 area, I'm going to start to scale up again and reinvest some of those profits. And yeah, that's where we are. And should none of those support areas hold, I might actually just still keep those positions because I took profits here, so I'm reinvesting them at a lower price, not too bothered if it drops again. But we'll see. You know, I haven't made that decision yet. It depends on the structure, all sorts of stuff. So I'm looking at that. But yeah, at least we have a little bit of volatility around the daily candle close, but nothing is decided yet. It would be good to make finally some progress in the chart, either finally to rally to the upside, where we can then say at some point, yeah, maybe we're ready to 26, 27K here in this green wave 5, but then we should see that wave 4, or at least come down. And then we have another possibility here to scale in and do a turnaround in the wave 5, or at least get some clarity if it's a wave 4 or a wave 2. Good, yeah, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.